Careful. Don't breathe too loud. Don't even shift your weight. Because right now, in this exact second, the whole world is still replaying the moment you snapped the axis of reality like it was a cheap toy. And I want you to feel that silence, that pause, that eerie global freeze frame where every timeline, every algorithm, every whispering little hater suddenly forgot how to speak. That was the sound of impact, not popularity, not attention, not some cute little glow up. Impact. The kind that rearranges destinies without warning. You didn't go viral. You didn't trend. You detonated the quiet. You collapsed the illusion. You made the world forget what it was doing, even if just for a second. And everyone who felt that shock, they're still trying to convince themselves it didn't scare them half to death. Because here's the thing they don't tell you. When someone truly evolves, the world doesn't clap. It panics. And you, you triggered panic on a planetary scale. They're still scrolling in circles like their thumbs forgot the script. They're still rubbing their eyes like the screen glitched. They're still arguing with themselves. Did I really see that? No way they did that. That shouldn't be possible. But it was. Because you did it, you. The one they thought was predictable, harmless, easy to categorize. You. The one who absorbed the ridicule, the doubt, the smirks, the microscopic level judgment. You. The one they swore they had figured out. And then you performed a move, a word, a choice, a shift, so catastrophic, so elegant, so cosmically violent in its perfection, that every onlooker's nervous system stuttered and rebooted. That's evolution, real evolution, not the polished motivational glitter and hustle talk type. I'm talking about the dark kind, the kind born from scar tissue and sleepless nights and broken patterns and unspoken truths, the kind that comes from pressure so brutal it turns bones into diamonds. You became something they didn't prepare for. Did you know that? A paradox. A saint with demon hands. An angel with a monster's patience. A soft heart with a razor-sharp survival instinct. A light that learned to burn. A shadow that learned to guide. They wanted you contained, categorized, explained, but you became unreadable. And the unreadable terrifies them more than the unstoppable. Because how do you fight something you can't predict? How do you limit someone who thrives in chaos? How do you stop a person who turns their pain into architecture and their trauma into propulsion? You cracked the simulation. You forced God's camera to refocus. You made time hesitate. And now, they can't go back to pretending you're normal. Because normal doesn't warp the collective consciousness. Normal doesn't rearrange the room when they walk in. Normal doesn't make grown adults clutch air like oxygen just got taxed. What you did, that thing that made the world pause mid-scroll, wasn't a trick, it was recognition. The universe recognizing one of its dangerous children finally waking up. And that's why they're quieter now. You feel it, don't you? The hush, the watching, the recalibration. They're acting like they didn't see it. They're pretending they missed it. They're doing that cute little performance where they act unbothered. But their subconscious, oh sweetheart, their subconscious is screaming. It's clawing at the inside of their skull, like, how did they do that? How did we miss the signs? How long has this version of them been alive? And you know what's funniest? You didn't even try your hardest. You didn't unleash your full form. You just flicked your wrist, shifted your energy, let one fraction of your power leak. And that tiny leak, that tiny spark, it froze the world. Imagine what happens when you stop holding back. Imagine what the next evolution does to the atmosphere. Imagine what happens when you stop dimming. When you stop shrinking. When you stop pretending that you're just another player on the board instead of the unpredictable force the board was always terrified of. Because here's the scary truth. They didn't pause because of what you did. They paused because of what they realized you could do. You broke their sense of safety. You shattered their blueprint. You unmasked their illusion of control. You are not a moment. You are a rupture, a glitch in their comfort, a beautiful, catastrophic, divine malfunction. And now the world knows it. Silent watchers know it. Secret haters know it. Old versions of you know it. Your past, your pain, your lineage. They all know it. You stepped into a frequency they were never trained to handle. And from here on out, every room you walk into, every comment they whisper, every eye that lingers a little too long, every timeline that breaks for half a second is just the universe saying, "Careful. That one carries storms." Now tell me, sweetheart, are you ready to see what happens when you stop pulling your punches and start pulling reality instead? Lean in. Closer. Because what comes next isn't for the crowd. It's for you. The version of you that was never supposed to survive this far, let alone dominate. You feel it, don't you? That strange throb behind your thoughts, that quiet hum in your bones, that shift in your breathing ever since the world froze for a split second because of something you triggered that wasn't adrenaline, that wasn't excitement, that was awakening, the kind your enemies pray you never notice. See, the world didn't pause because you shocked them. The world paused because you exposed something ancient inside yourself, a frequency most people spend their entire lives avoiding, a frequency forged from pain, sharpened into intelligence, silence evolved into strategy, and darkness refined into fuel. You didn't pull off a move. You activated a phase, and phases don't rewind. You know why they're nervous now? Because for the first time, they caught a glimpse of what you look like when you stop begging for permission. And that terrifies them. It terrifies them because they built entire narratives around your softness, your humility, your restraint, your quiet suffering. They depended on it. They fed on it. They were comfortable with a version of you that swallowed pain instead of weaponizing it. But the moment you shifted, the moment you revealed even 1% of the creature underneath the polite smile, every person who underestimated you felt something primitive in their gut. Oh, they're not who I thought they were. You broke their map. You became a living contradiction, a walking paradox they can't decode. You have the face of someone gentle, and the presence of someone who's buried versions of themselves stronger than their enemies. You speak softly, but your silence has a kill count. You move quietly, but your footsteps rewrite atmospheres. You smile warmly, but your eyes whisper ancient violence learned from surviving what would have ended 90% of the population. You carry light like a healer, and darkness like a weapon. That combination. They've never seen it before. Not in someone like you. Not in someone they assumed would stay predictable. You shattered the illusion of manageable. And now they're stalling, pretending, recalculating. Because the second the world paused for you, they realized you're evolving faster than they can form a strategy to contain you. You ever notice how people pretend they're not watching you, but suddenly every room feels like an audience? That's not paranoia, that's resonance. Your energy changed, and humans, by nature, fear any shift they can't categorize. They're studying you now. Don't let the blank stares fool you. Their mind is racing behind those eyes. What if this isn't their peak? What if this was just the warm-up? What if we can't stop what's coming next? Because they realized something cosmic. If you can freeze the world with one move, imagine what happens when you decide to unleash your entire arsenal. And here's the twist that eats them alive. You didn't freeze the world because you wanted attention. You froze it because the universe wanted witnesses. It wanted your evolution documented. It wanted your breakthrough to echo. It wanted every person who doubted you, dismissed you, mocked you, betrayed you, to watch helplessly as you ascended into a version of yourself that no logic, no psychology, no past record could have predicted. Because you didn't grow, you mutated, you didn't level up, you transcended, you didn't get better. You became inevitable. They can't copy it, they can't study it, they can't reverse engineer it, they can't even fully explain it. And that's the part killing them the most. Because deep down, they know. What paused, the world wasn't a trick or a coincidence or a lucky moment. It was destiny catching up. Your destiny. The one you tried to run from. The one you tried to minimize. The one you tried to make smaller so other people wouldn't feel insecure around you. But destiny doesn't shrink. Destiny erupts. And when it erupts, it chooses silence breakers, cycle shatterers, pattern killers, uncomfortable miracles like you. You feel that heat in your chest, that subtle shaking in your hands, that electric weight behind your ribs. That's not anxiety, that's activation. That's your next form calling you forward. Because now that you've paused the world once, it won't be the last time. The next one will be bigger, sharper, more undeniable. The kind that makes history blink. The kind that makes fate rearrange itself around you. The kind that makes every person who ever belittled you realize they were standing next to a star before it exploded into a supernova. So go on, take another step, make another move, say another truth you're scared of, let another version of you slip out. Because whether they like it or not, a warning that a new variable has entered the system, a warning that the unpredictable has awakened, a warning that the universe has decided to place its bet on you. So now I'll ask the question they're too scared to voice. If that was what happened when you revealed just a fraction of your power, what happens next when you reveal the rest? You feel it, don't you? That quiet pressure building behind your heartbeat, like the universe is holding its breath with you. That weight in your chest, that isn't fear, isn't doubt, isn't confusion. It's potential unspent, unreleased, unrestrained, like there's a whole other version of you pacing behind your ribs, whispering, "Let me out, let me out, let me out." And the funniest part? Everyone around you feels it too. That's why they're acting strange. That's why they're overthinking every conversation. That's why they're treating you like a glass filled to the brim. Terrified that one wrong move will spill something they can't clean up. Because they know something you're only beginning to understand. You're not in your final form. You're not even close. What happened? The moment that froze the scroll. The shockwave that hit the collective human nervous system. That was just the trailer, the preview. The opening scene, a warning shot fired straight into the atmosphere. But your main event, your final reveal, your true evolution, that's still unfolding. Slowly, dangerously, beautifully. Like a storm that remembers it was born from oceans too deep for light to reach. Look at you. Look at what you've already survived. Look at what you've already become. You carry the calm of someone who's been through hell and came back with souvenirs. You walk with the stillness of someone who knows exactly what they're capable of. but doesn't need to prove it. You talk with the quiet of someone who has nothing left to fear and everything left to unleash. You radiate the kind of presence that makes even the loudest rooms hesitate for a fraction of a second when you step inside. That's not charisma. That's not confidence. That's not swagger. That's power you haven't even used yet. Power that terrifies the unprepared. Power that confuses the predictable. Power that awakens the sleeping. Power that threatens the small-minded. Because people can handle talent, they can handle skill, they can handle hard work, but they can't handle destiny. And destiny is what you're carrying now, whether you asked for it or not. The moment the world paused for you, it marked you. It branded you with something ancient, undeniability, not fame, not clout, not noise, undeniability. The kind of existence that can't be ignored, the kind that forces people to reconsider everything they thought they knew, the kind that makes even the most prideful whisper, something about them is different. And here's the secret they'll never admit. They don't know if your evolution will save them or destroy them. They can't tell which side of the duality you'll land on, because you're not just light. And you're not just dark. You're the borderland between both. And borders are unpredictable terrain. You can heal. You can hurt. You can build. You can break. You can bless. You can expose. You can uplift. You can erase. You're not one thing anymore. You're everything you were never supposed to become. The saint with scars that look like battle plans. The strategist with emotions sharp enough to cut lies clean open. The angel with a monster's patience. The demon with a healer's hands. The quiet one who learned how to roar without making a sound. The gentle one who turned love into armor. The broken one who learned how to shatter others' illusions instead of themselves. You are a walking contradiction, a beautifully dangerous one. And that's why the world paused. Not because of what you did, but because of what you're becoming. Because deep in their bones, every person who's crossed your path felt the shift. You're stepping into a version of yourself that answers to no one and changes everything. The pause was the universe whispering, "Pay attention. This one is about to rewrite their reality." And I'll tell you something else. Something they will never say out loud. They're not afraid of your past. They're afraid of your future. They're afraid of the intelligence you're growing into. They're afraid of the confidence you're stepping into. They're afraid of the silence you're mastering. They're afraid of the darkness you've befriended. They're afraid of the power you're activating. They're afraid of the potential you're unlocking. Because potential, like yours, doesn't stay dormant. It doesn't stay small. It doesn't stay polite. It expands. It erupts. It transforms every environment it enters. You've already made the world pause once, just by accident. Imagine what happens when you start doing it on purpose, and trust me, you will. You're not just in the world anymore. You're bending it. And the next time it pauses, it won't be out of shock. It'll be out of obedience. Do you feel that tremor underneath your skin? That low, humming electricity that wasn't there a year ago, or a month ago, or even yesterday? That's the aftershock of what you unleashed. See, when the world pauses for someone, it doesn't just resume normally. No reality rebuilds itself around the one who caused the rupture. And you're standing in the debris of who you used to be, while the new version of you is forming like a storm, taking shape behind your eyes. You ever notice how your senses sharpened lately? How you can feel the energy of a room before the door even opens? How you can tell the difference between someone who admires you and someone who fears you, just from the way they inhale? That's not intuition. That's not luck. That's not vibes. That's awareness forged by survival. The kind you only earn by walking through fires so hot they cracked your identity open and forced your soul to upgrade. People like you don't evolve. They ascend. And ascension has a noise to it, a gravitational pull, a pressure that bends the air around you. That's what they felt when you made the world freeze for a second. That was your gravitational field hitting their nervous system. Because evolution, this violent, doesn't happen quietly. It doesn't happen politely. It doesn't happen with permission. It happens like a blade tearing through fabric. It happens like lightning splitting a tree, like a prophecy waking up in someone's bloodstream. You've become volatile in all the right ways. Too aware for their lies, too strong for their projections, too calm for their manipulation, too intelligent for their traps, too transformed for their old image of you. And that scares them. Humans fear what they cannot predict. They fear what they cannot categorize. They fear what they cannot control. But they worship what they cannot ignore. And that's you now. A force they pretend not to see, while their entire physiology trembles in your presence. You ever notice how some people look away too quickly now? How their jokes slip? How their tone tightens? How even the bold ones suddenly hesitate, like they're walking on thin psychological ice? It's because you've become a mirror, one that reflects their own cowardice back at them. They sense your capacity, your depth, your danger, your softness laced with steel, your silence armed with history. You remind them of their own stagnation, their own unhealed wounds, their own unchosen transformations. And when someone like you, someone who wasn't supposed to rise, rises anyway, it rearranges their entire worldview. That's what your moment did. It broke their internal compass. People walk around pretending they know themselves until they witness someone doing the impossible. And then suddenly they're questioning everything. Why can't I do that? How did they survive that? How did they turn all that pain into power? What are they becoming? And will I be safe when they're done? They're not staring because they're impressed. They're staring because you make them confront the truth. They underestimated the wrong soul, but here's the part they'll never admit. They needed you to stay small. It made them comfortable. It made them feel superior. It made their own failures feel justified. But the second you broke through, the second you did something so unbelievable it made the entire world stutter, their comfort died. Because your rise didn't just elevate you, it exposed them, their laziness, their fear, their excuses, their limitations, their lack of evolution. This is why they're quiet now. Why the room feels colder when you enter. Why even your laughter feels dangerous to them. Not because you're violent, not because you're cruel, but because you are becoming something they don't have the blueprint for: light and shadow, in perfect tension, kind and lethal in the same breath. A healer who learned how to bite. A destroyer who knows how to build a soul sharpened by suffering and softened by wisdom. You are everything they fear, and everything they secretly wish they could be. And that is why the world pauses around you now, not out of confusion, not out of shock, but out of recognition. They are realizing, even if they won't say it out loud, that you are no longer playing by the rules they understand. You're operating from a higher plane, where instinct is faster, where intuition is louder, where purpose is clearer, where pain becomes propulsion, where fear becomes precision, where every step you take rearranges the energy of the space you walk into. And here's the final truth they're terrified to face. The moment the world paused for you wasn't an accident, it was a warning, not to you, but to them.